I'm starting to feel a little bit nervous because if you know, I've kind of been under wraps for a while. This is my first time out.
Hollywood has always been full of unwritten rules, but what is happening now with Rachel Zegler offers a rare glimpse into how the industry quietly shuns talent it sees as troublesome. What makes it sting even more is that it doesn't happen openly. It's subtle, almost invisible, but deeply insulting. Imagine just trying to live normally while realizing that people don't care about who you are as a person, only that you exist in a space they'd rather keep closed off from you. Rumors suggest her name has been disappearing from press conferences, red carpet lineups, and guest lists she was originally meant to attend. Behind the scenes, there's growing awareness that certain individuals like her are suddenly unavailable for projects. It isn't just a few minor events being pulled away. It looks like an entire blacklisting network, involving major studio functions tied to blockbusters, award shows, and private mixers where careers are often made or destroyed. The whispers started just after what should have been her big moment, reviving Evita. Instead of marking a triumph, it became the turning point that triggered a widespread industry freeze-out. Insiders didn't mince words. She isn't welcome, not now, and maybe not for quite some time. What's striking is that this exclusion seems to have begun even before Evita fully collapsed. Reports say studio executives were already discussing keeping her out of events during early preparations. But after tensions escalated on set, things spiraled out of control. Her silence has only fueled speculation. Known for being active and outspoken online, she has offered no cryptic comments, no subtle clapbacks, just a strange, total absence. That silence speaks volumes, suggesting that even her team is struggling to manage the rapid decline in her standing. Details about what really happened behind the scenes are beginning to leak. Sources claim trouble started early in rehearsals, where Zegler clashed with the creative team. Rumors say she questioned the director's vision, openly argued with voice coaches in front of the cast, and even altered lines without approval. Instead of creative collaboration, it felt like constant damage control. One production assistant described the atmosphere as walking on eggshells. The situation reportedly grew so tense that staff began referring to the show as the circus. At one point, a singer walked out mid-rehearsal, declaring the production wasn't worth the chaos. The most damaging rumor is of a heated altercation between Zegler and a seasoned Broadway actor, loud enough to be heard throughout the building. That performer supposedly quit the same day and has since been erased from all promotional material. What makes this controversy stand out is how carefully orchestrated the industry's reaction appears to be. There have been no official statements, no dramatic takedowns, just a quiet, collective step back. Last month, she was set to attend a high-profile fashion fitting, only for it to be canceled abruptly. Shortly after, she was expected at a promotional banquet for an upcoming ensemble film. While her co-stars and the director gave interviews, her absence was glaring, unacknowledged, as if she had never been part of the project at all. Hollywood doesn't usually handle controversy this way. Normally, a carefully staged comeback plan is put into motion. A vulnerable interview showing remorse, a glossy photo shoot symbolizing resilience, and strategic appearances designed to reshape the narrative. But in Rachel Zegler's case, the backlash spread far quicker than her team could manage, moving from theater circles into the heart of Hollywood. According to insiders, publicists now warn their clients that she's a walking risk to avoid. This isn't typical Hollywood drama. It's a textbook example of how the industry quietly exiles someone it deems a liability. What's happening goes far beyond being left out of a few events. This is systematic, real-time career dismantling. Multiple sources say that as soon as the Evita scandal began generating headlines, at least 2 major studios started internal discussions about removing her from public-facing events. Practically overnight, invitations vanished, panels were reassigned, and her name disappeared from guest lists, even though she was still tied to upcoming projects. One studio executive allegedly told his staff, "We can't afford another headline. She's too unpredictable now." In today's image-conscious Hollywood, her behavior isn't just considered troublesome, it's seen as contagious. The ripple effect has been striking. Other actors and their agents are quietly distancing themselves, ensuring they're not caught in the fallout. This isn't a formal blacklisting, but something more damaging. A coordinated withdrawal that halts her career momentum without any official announcement. For example, she was originally slated as a key interview subject for a major summer press junket. Yet, just 48 hours before the event, her name was erased from the call sheet. A similar fate met her scheduled appearance at a talent showcase for a prominent streaming conference. Canceled quietly, no reason given. Even more telling is the silence online. Studio social media accounts that once celebrated her have stopped tagging or engaging with her entirely. Former castmates who used to share behind-the-scenes photos and praise her publicly have gone completely quiet. Insiders claim that actors in her next ensemble project have even been instructed not to bring her up in interviews. One press agent reportedly told a client who was asked about Zegler, "We're not touching that mess." Her digital footprint reflects the same pattern of abandonment. A filmmaker who once championed her as the future of film hasn't interacted with any of her posts for over a month. Stylists, producers, and industry influencers who previously promoted her have vanished from her orbit. Social media, once an informal PR safety net, has become a glaring void. Zegler herself quietly canceled an appearance at a charity banquet for a project she had once enthusiastically supported. Not a single organizer acknowledged her absence. No explanation, no polite, "wish you were here," just silence. The consistency of these reactions suggests that the industry's rejection isn't about Evita alone, but tied to a broader pattern of behavior that has raised red flags for some time. Online, the fallout has sparked heated debate. One viral tweet with over 100,000 likes summed up the sentiment bluntly: "This was coming. You can only burn so many bridges before people stop building them for you." Yet others defend her, arguing she's being unfairly singled out for behavior that male actors routinely get away with. As one TikTok user with over 2 million views pointed out, if she were a guy, they'd be calling it method acting. That sentiment has been echoed across Reddit threads, fan forums, and anonymous tip accounts. People aren't debating whether Rachel Zegler is in trouble. They're asking why it took the industry so long to act. The silence from Hollywood has been deafening, but the real-world repercussions are undeniable. 2 of the 4 major projects she was attached to are now on hold, not officially canceled, but cooling, stalled while studios reconsider whether she's worth the potential backlash. The questions looming over her career are bigger than scripts or sets. Will audiences still buy tickets? Will her co-stars be willing to promote alongside her? Will press tours turn into PR disasters? These uncertainties are more than enough to make studios rethink her future. In today's post-strike Hollywood, where budgets are tight and public perception can make or break a release, Zegler has become a case study in how quickly a rising star can fall. Her issue isn't just about one controversy. It's about whether she can be considered reliable and marketable moving forward. Outside the film world, her brand relationships are crumbling too. A mid-range fashion label that once dressed her for premieres has reportedly shifted focus to other rising talents. One stylist even tweeted cryptically, "No one wants a return on chaos," a comment industry insiders immediately linked to Zegler without needing to name her. What makes this collapse so unusual is the lack of visible damage control. Hollywood crises typically follow a script. Acknowledge the issue an apology, demonstrate growth, and slowly rebuild. But weeks into her freeze-out, her team has yet to roll out any strategy. No carefully crafted interviews, no calculated social media comeback, no public statements at all.
Entire cast of West Side Story cannot wait for you to see the film that was so proudly shot.
People close to the situation say her representatives underestimated the speed at which the Evita scandal would spread, assuming it would remain a niche theater controversy. Instead, it engulfed Hollywood at large. That miscalculation has left a dangerous gap. Publicists are reportedly scrambling to book her into non-acting opportunities, talk show segments, women in Hollywood panels, anything to soften her image. But the doors are closing everywhere. Even unpaid appearances are being reconsidered. a level of rejection usually reserved for celebrities facing criminal investigations, not young actresses stumbling through career missteps. Her online silence is equally uncharacteristic. Gone are the cryptic selfies, song lyrics, and witty remarks that once kept her constantly in the digital spotlight. Fans are divided. Some think she's intentionally regrouping, while others believe she's been advised to stay quiet in hopes the storm passes. Either way, the silence is only fueling speculation and ceding control of the narrative to others. Perhaps most concerning is the lack of support from the studios still formally working with her. There have been no lukewarm defenses, no generic statements of confidence, not even vague reassurances. The absence of even the weakest show of solidarity suggests the industry has already decided her situation isn't just another reputation problem. It's something bigger. Rachel Zegler's current struggles raise a larger question than whether she is simply experiencing a temporary career setback. The real issue is whether this marks just a brief pause or a permanent shift in her trajectory. Hollywood has always been as fascinated with comebacks as it is with creating new stars, and this moment could one day be framed as the beginning of a powerful redemption arc, if she manages to prove growth, stability, and professionalism. For now, however, the window to reclaim control over her narrative appears to be closing. At this pivotal stage, Zegler faces the possibility of either remaining a cautionary tale about the dangers of fame or making an impressive return that redefines her career. Each week of silence only hardens industry perceptions, underlining the unforgiving economics of reputation in entertainment. Talent matters, but long-term success depends just as much on reliability, marketability, and professional relationships. Despite her undeniable ability, Zegler now has to contend with Hollywood's ruthless standards, where potential concerns often outweigh proven talent. Just 2 years ago, she was heralded as the next big star, full of promise and seemingly unstoppable. Today, she is reportedly struggling to maintain her footing, a shift that highlights how unpredictable the entertainment world truly is. One moment, someone is a breakout sensation. The next, they risk becoming a cautionary example. Whether Zegler can battle back to regain her place, or whether the industry's cold shoulder will force her retreat, remains uncertain. This could be the beginning of a remarkable redemption story, or the unraveling of a once promising career in real time. What is certain is that in Hollywood, skill and connections are equally prized, but relationships often tip the balance. Even the most talented stars can be sidelined if the industry decides they bring more complications than opportunities.